the English, the German, and the French. Truly a trifecta of madness. These three juggernauts of Europe share more than just the love of empire. They share language. Returning to centuries past, we find Britain under much different rulership than today. After Romans committed to a hasty retreat from English soil in the 5th century BC, they neglected to educate the native Britons left behind on how to adequately defend themselves, and as a result, the Germanic tribes who had attempted invasions before finally succeeded, hence Anglo-Saxon. The invaders, Germanic people from Denmark and northern Germany, spoke what can only be referred to as a precursor to the German language, and with extensive settlement and migration, the British Isles soon spoke said dialect throughout. This remained the status quo until the Normans, a peoples in northern France, invaded in the 11th century, people who, if you could believe it, spoke an old version of French. Now, this caused a culture and class divide. The rulers were French, ruled German. And with this quick bit of history out of the way, we can get right into the meat of this video, discussing on how that divide affected both language and history from there on out. Now, euthanization of words is by no means a concept that only exists in English, but for very few languages does it have such a backstory behind it. Now, as we just discussed, we have a French-speaking ruling class and a peasantry that speaks predominantly German. Imagine now a nobleman who wishes to hold a feast with 3 main courses: beef, pork, and chicken. To do this, he needs to buy these animals from a peasant who has most likely raised them. This conversation could go something like this. The peasant begins, "Hier bitte ist Ihre Kuh, ein Schwein und ein Hühnchen." The nobleman, elated that his feast can continue, responds with, "Génial, tant de manger, de bœuf, de porc et de poulet." Now, translated, this means the peasant says, "Here you are, your cow, 1 pig, and a chicken." The nobleman responds, "Great, time to eat cow, pig, and chicken." Now, as we can see in this little table I prepared, the German and the French almost act as if the German is the English word for the animal, and the French is the English word for the meat. For example, Kuh becomes cow, bœuf becomes beef, Schwein pig, pork pork, Hühnchen chicken, poulet poultry. Now, can you see what's happening? It almost seems that when we die, we become French. Wait, no. That's horrid, and also hopefully wrong. Now, I understand that some of you may already be shouting at me, "Oh, this is wrong, that is wrong, and you're probably racist," but hush, 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 let's calm down here. So, first of all, we'll have the issue with Schwein and pig. Granted, they don't sound anything alike. But then again, have you ever heard of a swine herder? Or just swine in general. So that solves that problem. Moving on, we have Hühnchen and chicken. Yes, they sound similar, but not perfect. I'll go into that in just a second. And to elate the French, who many of you will not have realized, are complaining because bœuf actually means ox. However, to respond to that, I wish to say, why kill the milk cow when you can kill the old ox who's past his prime, getting hard to manage, and of course, easily be able to eat the bœuf. Lastly, the chicken. Alright, how do you get the chicks? Well, this is how. You use the German word Küken, which is referring to, well, the chick, to be honest. And when you say these slowly next to each other, we say Küken, chicken. Alright, they sound similar, but the C and the K. Alright, I admit you've got me there. I don't know how the K becomes a Ch, but at this point it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, it's not really that important, to be honest, and we're not all that mean to each other. I mean, shit. Oh, pardon me. I meant to defecate. Or maybe I should just go with Scheiße. U defici. Thanks for watching, feel free to subscribe, new videos will be up every Friday, topics will vary, so make sure you like what you like to get more of just that, and also have no qualms about putting down comments as to topics you'd like covered. I'm always looking for new suggestions, and I hope to see you in the next video. To make sure you don't miss it, please do subscribe.